Let's get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday morning. You are starting the week off the right way, especially given the conversation that we have this morning. So if you have tuned in, congratulations, it's your lucky day. I want to introduce a young man who is, and I say young man, he's, I don't know, Gordon, what are you, 25?
25. I'm 42.
42. All right.
Wow.
Well, I think it's that hairdo you're rocking. It makes you look young. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know why I'm partial to it, but
yeah, I got a page out of your book. All your steps.
No, thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. I'm really excited.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course, yeah. So let's start first of all about just who is Gordon Deutsch. So tell us a little bit about yourself personally, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was born in San Francisco. My dad's a doctor. He started working. He got a job at in Santa Paula. He has a private practice there, and we moved to Ventura when I was like 13 years old. And three younger brothers, and I'm the oldest here. So I grew up in Ventura. So I have a good network around here, and I went to film school. I was in the entertainment business for a long time, worked in development, screenwriting, worked on sets, came back here, and I ended up coming back to Ventura. I wanted to practice real estate and write on the side, and started doing real estate full time. Very similar to the film industry, and as far as networking and the hustle and all that. So I was used to that. I think that's why I had some early success in my first year as real estate, just used to the network and the hustle and getting out there and meeting people.
Right. So just very quickly, family, married, not married, single, kids, no kids?
I got a girlfriend, but not married.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So let's I guess let's start with this. When did you get into real estate? When was your
So I've been doing real estate beginning just after January 2020. So about a year, a little over a year now.
Yeah.
And and I came to Century 21 because I heard they had a great training program, this and that. And then I was telling people, and I met branch manager Armani Mesquiwa, and loved him right away. And then said, this is the place for me.
Yeah. So is it what you expected? I mean, when you because you got into the business, I mean, pretty advanced in your career, the other career that you had. So you had a lot of experience in life, and that business is a very, very interesting business. I don't understand it a lot, but I know a bit about it. So coming into real estate, I mean, is it what you expected?
It was in some ways, as far as I said, like the hustle of it, networking, constantly on my sphere of influence, using the people around me that I knew, that might be interested in, purchasing property, looking out there. So it is the hustle. Although I heard a lot of people, you can do real estate on the side, this and that. And I found out very quickly, if you want to be successful, you really got to dig in. It's 24/7, pretty much. It's almost a lifestyle.
Yeah, no doubt. So just if you would, give everybody some perspective, because we haven't told them, what you have accomplished. It's very, I think it's inspiring, and it's certainly not the norm, and it's the reason that you were recognized last week at the summit and have received other recognition. But just talk to us about, and look, I know everybody's always, it's always a challenge to talk about yourself and tout what you did, but you have a reason to be, proud for what you accomplished. So tell us what you did in terms of production, income, and then also what you were recognized as being for 2020.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, I had some big sales last year. Really kind of hit my sphere of influence really hard, people in my network that I knew. So I was lucky to have a listing, a few sales in. I had an income property, learned about income properties right away. That was my first deal out in 29 Palms. So I was down there, 2.5 hours away from myself. But that was my first deal, and it went on for about 4 months, in escrow, this and that. And then I ended up having, like I said, I had some bigger deals. So
well, what was your gross income? Do you remember what your gross income was for the year?
Oh yeah, my gross income was about 75,000 for myself. Yeah. Well, that was my commission. Yeah, what I made on commissions.
Yeah, your gross commission income.
Right. That was my gross commission was about 75. And yeah, I had a listing and then, right at the beginning, that was right at the beginning of COVID, I ended up be able to double end that. And it went, yeah, it was 1.4 and ended up going in 1.5, 100,000 over the asking price, all cash. That was
Good for
like
you.
13 offers in 3 days. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was
Well,
like, the sign of what was happening, going to be happening throughout the pandemic and real estate.
well, that's the thing. So not only was it your first year, you're a rookie, but
That's true.
also you did it during a pandemic when, I mean, things were shut down for a good period of time, and
That's true. Yes.
nobody knew what was going to happen after that. It's certainly, I think, much different than what most people expected, what we're experiencing right now.
Absolutely. Yes.
But so let's just talk a little bit more about it, because the fact is that 80% of people who get into business or the real estate business are gone in 24 months. And the average real estate agent who's productive, not the average of all the, 1 point, I don't know how many now, 5, 6, 7 million agents on a national level. But if you take a look at those who are producing, their average income is right around 60 grand. So not only did you exceed the average income of producing agents, but the fact is that, I mean, you're thriving when you consider the fact that you're a rookie, and most people, 80% of them are gone within the first 24 months. So
Yeah.
let's just talk a little bit about fundamentals and how, not only how you survived, but how you thrive. So just
Absolutely.
talk a little bit about your schedule. What is it? What does that look like? And what are some of the fundamental things that in your business and your approach that, are non-negotiable that you do?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I get up early. Yeah. I start right away. Yeah. Do some morning ascent with you guys. And really for me, it was about my sphere of influence was a big, especially as a rookie, the people I knew and that. So I would get up. I made sure right away I let everyone know that I was in real estate, that I was gonna be a real estate agent. It was through social media. I made calls, I hit my database right away of people I knew who you were looking. And that actually was majority of my transactions was either people I knew or people I knew, or if they knew someone looking. Although at the time, right at the beginning, open houses were still around. So I made myself, I was hosting open houses Saturday and Sunday. And I got two transactions just out of people I met from hosting open houses. So that was big. Although that changed during the pandemic, we weren't allowed to. So I started, doing reading the scripts, cold calling, and that was at least an hour a day of cold calling, either sphere of influence, or I used my title company off my sales just to look for people in the neighborhoods that I knew
So
that
let's,
owned.
oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so
Oh, no
let's
problem.
pause for a second and talk about that prospecting,
Absolutely.
about that experience. Were you excited about it? Was it something that you
I was a little nervous about the cold calling. I wasn't, I'd be like, I've been on the under end of those, and I'm like, I'm going to be that guy that call that I kind of want to hang up right away. But
right?
I said, if I want to be successful in this, especially as a rookie, this is what I got to do, especially with the limitations we had, because of the pandemic, not able
Yeah.
to do the hosting of the open houses. So after my first couple, and I did, some of the training with the scripts, with you guys, my team, with Armani, and I got a little more comfortable. But it took a little bit of time to get comfortable, using the scripts and gaining some knowledge. You have to give them some positive, some good value, something of value to the call, when I would get my calls.
Yeah. So as a rookie, what would you say your biggest challenge was?
My biggest challenge was experience. That's definitely what it was. I have a great mentor. Shout out to Mr. Ken Wallace, who my first three transaction was there. But it was just, I'm a very hard worker. I learned the scripts, the contracts, all that. But there was things, especially my first one. It was an income property that was very kind of messy, lots of repairs. Just being like, oh, I know it from that situation. I didn't have that, so I relied a lot on Ken, my mentor, to help me with experiences, from his past experience being in the business 15 years. So I believe, through, the training, the scripts and all that, you can learn so much, but like Armani put it, you gotta learn it from the street. So I think there's something to do with experience. And that was my biggest fear, is not having that. Although now, even after a year, I feel like, wow, through the transactions I have, I'm well more experienced.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because the word that you have said the most in this conversation this morning is scripts. So
Yeah, it's true.
So talk about that, because a lot of people are very reluctant to learn a script. They think that if they're quote unquote scripted, that
That's true.
it's not genuine, it's not them, it's phony. In other words, it's salesy, and nobody wants to be salesman. In other words, like you said, I'm that guy, and yet you've embraced that. So just talk a little bit about that attitude and what you've done to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like scripts. I'm a writer myself. I've actually sold a couple of scripts in the film industry. So I like to have something like a blueprint to go over, kind of like it makes me feel a little better. I have something on my mind, what I can say, present, this worked, either it came from Tom Ferry or wherever. This has gone over this, knowing, having this information, be able to say some of these words works when confront, with a potential client when you're prospecting. Although I don't go word for word, and I start out trying to build a rapport, whether I'm cold calling or in person, just to build something, between us, meeting of the minds. But I like to have that in the back of my head in case the conversation maybe goes a little sideways or that. I think about whatever script it is, if it's a cold calling script, and able to kind of go back to that and just have that information, to go to. And sometimes even on a Zoom call or this, I'll have it by my side just to take a glance at it. Makes me feel a little more comfortable.
Right. Now, I want to confirm, because you've got the ESS scripts, right? The Eversell system scripts. You're using them.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, good. Cool. So what your biggest challenge, you said the experience or lack of experience.
Right. Yes.
So what did you lean on? I mean, I know the answer, but I want you to say it. I want them to hear it. What was it you did fundamentally to get past that hurdle? Because a lot of people on this call don't necessarily relate to the fact that, inexperienced, because they've been in the business a long time.
Sure.
But what I believe, whether you're new in the business or you're, an experienced veteran, that the answer that you're going to give still applies. So your inexperience, you address that by doing what? What was that solution?
Well, absolutely. Well, it was just like knowing that I didn't have all the knowledge of this. So definitely the trainings were really what a huge, for myself, the trainings that Century 21 Everest you guys provide, doing the workshops, doing the whatever, the peak training was huge for me, with that was peak. Yeah, absolutely, with Russell. Yeah, that was huge for me, doing the peak training. Getting that, and then
voy a venir ahorita.
Elena, put your phone on mute. Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. That, and then having a great mentor, like I say, with Wickman Wallace. He was there, very one-on-one, really like sat down me through my side, especially my first couple of transactions, really being there for me. When I had my listing, that was huge. I had multiple offers, which I was really excited, but there was a lot of work to deal with, and a lot of people hounding me with the calls, and just how to not, some of these listing agents in LA going after me, this and that, trying to get information. So he was having a great mentor, I would say, in the real estate business is very key at the beginning. I had a couple of friends that got their license. Oh, I don't need a mentor. I don't want to give up this part of my commission. I was like, no. If I want to be long-term in this business, I want to learn and work me giving up some of my commission at the beginning to have, someone of knowledge, and that experience by my side, kind of take my hand in a sense first, through some real transactions. Yeah. Absolutely.
So you're a believer in being coached, in other words.
Absolutely. I absolutely am a huge believer in being coached.
Yeah, and I can tell you are, and I'm not certain if it's because by default it's who you are, or the industry that you came from, because you see people succeed at a very high level, and that these people have coaches that they work with.
That's true.
To get to that level. So there's an emotion that I don't hear in you that is very prevalent in real estate, and it's fear.
Yes.
I'm certain you're human. I'm certain you experience that, but it's so interesting. Everything that you've said here, I've not heard you say, I was afraid, I was reluctant. I didn't hear any of that. So how is that? How are you maintaining a mindset that isn't really driven by fear, that's not predominated by fear?
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I've had, in the entertainment business, some other thing, I've been success. So I think it's that confidence of being, having some success, that I could be successful in any business I try, but really just believing in myself, and that, really that, focusing on accomplish my goals. And yes, I had some, success for my year of real estate, but it was just the hustle. It's really not just any kind of worry about, anything from my past, or what am I going to do this year for the future? You know, I have a plan, you know, I have goals I want to set, but really focusing on the day-to-day tasks is what I do, and not allow my mind to really go to places like, oh, I'm new, what am I going to do, this or that. At the same time, I have to say I had a good network of people I knew from the beginning of real estate when I got my license that I knew were looking to buy or sell. So I was lucky in that sense. But you know, the work was the same. At the same time, my lack of experience, it was like, oh no, they're going to use me, but you know, I got to provide for them. I got to show them, you know, I know what I'm doing. But really, yeah, I think just in life in general, from my parents and my dad and mom taught me, you know, worrying was just nothing but, you know, extra stress for you. It doesn't go anywhere. And you know, I do meditation, exercise, all these
Okay.
other activities. Yeah,
Well,
exercise.
that's important. So let's talk about that, because
Sure.
it for you, where you don't struggle maybe to the same degree that others do in life or in real estate with self-confidence, because it's obvious that you're doing some great things. For you, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but for a lot of people, that's like they're struggling and they're wondering, okay, how does he
Sure.
come across so confident? He's a rookie. He did so well. He didn't have any experience in the business, and yet
Yeah.
he's talking with great confidence. So practically, what does that look like? What are you doing on a daily basis that you believe helps build
Oh,
and maintain your self-confidence?
yeah, absolutely. You know, I think I'm a big, especially the eating right, feeling good. I know you're big about that, John. Yeah, I'm a surfer. I try to get a surf all weekend. I like to get in the water. That makes me feel amazing. Just being out there and just being around, you know, I know it's COVID, it's tough, but being around people, you know, talking, like I was in the entertainment network. I think probably that experience of the entertainment network, I worked for a couple of agents, being on the phone with that probably drew my big self-confidence with that, having that experience. And I maybe had a little more fear back then, but I've never been a shy person or anything like that. My dad's like that, like you, a great public speaker, this and that. And I do have that probably innate as well. But
Mhm.
really a big believer in daily taking care of yourself, eating right, working out. So if you feel good and feel good about yourself, then it's good for you're going to present that to other people.
So one of the things you
Yeah.
mentioned was meditation. So you meditate consistently every day?
I do, yeah, I do. You know, in the morning, I do. I listen to different, you know, apps on my just even on my phone. I do that. But yeah, I do yoga, stretch. I try to be out, do go for a little walk and be outside just to get my mind in my mind in the right mindset. Yeah, before I go to work, you know, before I get on my calls, before anything
That's
else.
great.
Feel good about myself. Yeah, that's
That's
absolutely.
great. Well, let me ask you, in alignment with this, focusing on ourselves and trying to bring our best version to the day. You know, you've said a lot about scripts. Obviously, in that first year, you needed to discover them, learn them.
Sure.
Obviously, you have. Do you continue to practice those? Is there a time in your day where you do that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm big. I like the love the role playing that we do. You know, we that the company offers with my branch managers. So that's big to keep on there. But I do. I look at the scripts. You know, I remember when I was hosting open houses. You know, especially said that right away. I would have the scripts out, and I would use that time in between when there was you know potential buyers coming in to look at the scripts to do that. You know, because there was nothing else going on to look. At, you know, especially that was at the beginning of my career of last year. Just look at the scripts, look at the training. But yeah, I go over the scripts almost, yeah, I would say daily, whatever I'm doing. And if I feel like sometimes on my calls, it's just not going right, I'm stumbling, I will take some time, at least 20 minutes to practice and go over. And I have partners that I go over the scripts with. Some of them are through the company, some of them are actors that I knew just from the entertainment business. To me, it's like going in for an audition, you know, practicing an audition. And they like that actually as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Very cool. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, so we've only got a few minutes left, but I want
Sure.
to ask you about this. What motivates you? What causes you to stay engaged? Because this is
Oh,
a very difficult business. I believe this is one of the most difficult businesses anybody could get into, because we aren't salaried. We don't get an hourly.
true.
We only get paid on commission. We do a lot of work sometimes and don't get paid for that work. There's a lot of rejection, and it requires people to do really what most people are afraid to do, which is to engage other people. You know, I mean,
Yes.
short of public speaking, we really are. That's what we do. I mean, it's just we do it, you know, with small groups, you know, couples. So
Question.
how do you stay motivated?
Yes, yeah, and especially I had a year that was, successful, even more, than I realized I could get, I showed to myself. So that helps me, but I want to maintain that, and then there was a fear of like, oh, did I use all majority of my sphere of influence? I knew already where I'm going to go from here, especially during the pandemic. But I'm a very positive person, so I want to keep going. I'm the type like I'll do better this year. I did well. I'm gonna do better next year. I want to show, see that growth, and I don't look at it as a fear. It's actually exciting to me what and I have these, skills, like I said, through the scripts and the training. So I feel a confidence and I feel like I have experience. So I can like with that experience, I can use to even grow. But yeah, there's definitely, it's just commission based that, I haven't had a transaction in a couple months. What's happening? Are we gonna be allowed to do open houses again? There's, that was like key to me. So it's really just, not to focus on fear of anything, not even just part of the business, just in anything in life, and just try to remain positive, and really just I focus on the work in hand, like I say, the day to day, and that keeps me from just distractions of anywhere else.
Yeah, that's the second time you've said that, which is really
Right,
interesting. I want everybody to pay attention to that, because one of the things that we as human beings have a tendency to do is to focus on all those external things that we don't have any control over. And then we take our eye off the ball, which is, as you said, those fundamental things that we can do on a day-to-day basis and control. Like, what do we
right,
do with our time? You get up early, you're meditating, you're eating right, you're working on your scripts, you're prospecting consistently, which is interesting because none of that is a surprise to me, because what I know is that if you're going to be successful as you have been and do that consistently, that you can't ignore the fundamentals. And those are all part of the fundamentals that we talk about all the time.
absolutely. That's
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. The fundamentals are key.
they are. They are. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what business, whether you're in the film business, or you're in professional sports, or you're in the business of real estate. So what would you say is that one thing that you want people to hear from you? What's that one message? If they were to walk
Oh,
away
absolutely.
listening to you, that this is the one thing from Gordon that I heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my mom used to say to me, and we were talking about, do not let your fears hold you back. And no matter what, they're in your head, and I think she ingrained that to me from, a young age, to go after what you want, go after your goals, no matter what stuff. People told me, oh, the real estate, they told me about the entertainment business, oh, this is gonna be tough, this and that. I told my dad I wanted to be a writer. Oh my God, oh my God, I'm gonna be supporting you the rest of my life, this and that. And I showed him. I sold a couple of scripts, because I had confidence in myself, but really I confidence in the work, in the training, and really taking the time and being disciplined. So the number one thing is don't let your fears hold you back. You can show anybody, especially yourself, that you can be successful if you will go in the fundamentals and just focus on the day to day, and just don't let fears or worries distract your mind.
I love it. I love it.
Yes,
I love it. I love it. I love your energy. I love your attitude, and it's inspiring. So, man, keep
absolutely.
it up. What's your goal for this year in terms of income?
Yeah, no, I would like to hit 100K for sure. I did
Okay.
75 last year. So yeah, in gross commission sales, I'd like to hit at least 100K. Yeah, and get a couple more. I had a lot of buyers, so I'm working on those listings as well, trying to
Okay.
get more listings as well, which is really key right now in this in the market.
So it's not that you'd like to get to 100. You're going to get to
I'm
100,
going to
right?
get to 100. Yes,
You're going to
that's the
get to
word you
100.
said.
I
Going to
love it.
get to
I love it. I
100K.
love it. Well, I've got to
Absolutely.
say this again. Thank you, young, emphasis on young man. I love it. Keep rocking that hairdo. I think it's probably the best
There
one
it
that anybody
is.
can rock. Yeah.
I think so. I love it.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
And yeah, thank you for giving a shout out to Ken Wallace, because a good man, and
very good man.
integral
Yes,
part of
great
obviously your
coach.
success,
Yes,
but also the office there in Ventura. So, and
absolutely.
yeah, and thank you, Gordon, for your time.
Thank you, John. And you're
Been
so
a pleasure.
inspiring. Yeah, having you around, and that, I love hearing your words and your inspiration. Really helps drive me in this business.
Now, see, uh, gang, just according to the script that I handed him, he delivered it perfectly. That was like an Oscar-winning script right there. So,
There it is.
yeah, thanks, Gordon. Appreciate it. Okay,
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
let's do this. Let's join me with some closing affirmations here, and let's rock and roll.